Medicaid
Oh,
too. So
no.
I got up and had to
Oh.
leave.
Oh, no.
Everything's fine
I
now.
mean,
Everything's perfectly
if
fine. But
anything, that kind of proves the point you need help.
Trini
In
is
my
not
opinion, if you want
wrong.
to go back to 2020, all you have to do is play Animal Crossing. That's all 2020 was, right?
Ugh.
Yeah, I haven't
and
reopened
not
that
a
because I'm worried that
single.
Cherb's left.
Yeah.
Same.
I'm not gonna open
I
the
got
can of
married in
worms that
2020.
2020 was for me. It was
Nice.
let's just say that when the pandemic hit, I was living in an apartment by myself for the first time in my adult life and had
Oh,
filed for divorce like 2 weeks prior.
oh, I'm sorry. I
So
didn't
that
mean to
was
bring that up.
like a lot of people are like, "Oh man, 2020 was crazy. It was such a shit year." And I'm like, "Yeah, same, but not for the same reason."
Now, for me, it was just Animal Crossing.
Like honestly, the pandemic hardly affected me because of the field of work I'm in and um like I was still going to work 40 hours a week and the isolation was less noticeable because of other aspects of isolation that would have been occurring anyway. So, yeah, like oh yeah, yeah. So and there's a lot of other things that happened in 2022. So, but I'm like going like, yeah, 2020 was like it was a crazy year, but a lot of times when I say that, it's for much different reasons than other people. So, cuz yeah. So, yeah, I'm
So what's
glad
changed about our playtest between?
I'm glad not to be stuck in 2020. What was that, Bolt?
So what's changed between this time and last time between our setting?
Yeah, so I have not I'm not incorporating too much of the new information because I don't want to intrinsically change our setting too much. I have received the alpha um test handbook for the module since a month ago. I just received that a week or so ago, and it's fantastic. I fucking love it. Uh, but there is a ton of new information and lore, and a lot of it fits with what I've written, but some of it doesn't. So I'm not incorporating too much of the new information because, like I said, I don't want to. I didn't have time to rewrite a ton of the one shot. Um, so for my own two brain cells, I decided not to incorporate too much of the new information. Because I wrote this one shot back in like September when the lore information I had about this world was very minimal. So
Glad there's more now, though.
Fair.
yeah, no, it's extensive. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I'm really excited for it. But yeah, I'm not changing too much in terms of like the intrinsic backstory, if you will. So, why don't you guys tell me what you remember from last time?
I have shit notes.
Well, you have
I see.
notes. I don't.
I have no notes.
Sick.
Here's what I recall.
Um,
We arrived in town with a cool plague-born driver who we somehow endeared to us by giving him candy. We went to town, we made friends with halflings, learned that a city slicker is owning the main mercantile store, is a spider person. Made them carve pumpkins. We went to the tavern to question things. We got some details. We learned that Brusk is a threadborn, asking for a needle and thread for his eye. We learned that Vesper doesn't want anything to drink there unless it has something a little more lively. Got details on what we're going to be going for. There is people missing, specifically around this one region. We decided to go on a little bit of a shopping spree and gathering of information at the local alchemist shop with one of those tiny ant people.
Yeah, the Ashbourne. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Hi, studio. Anyway, so
I was trying not to interrupt, but hi, studio.
so the Ashbourne had a lot of dusty stock that looks like it's been there for a very long time, which was mildly concerning. Potentially looted from people who were probably killed and just brought here. Who knows? Who knows? But the Ashbourne isn't evil. The Ashbourne is helping us. We got some supplies. Got a jar of blood for Vesper.
Yeah, you weren't trying to be stingy and haggle about the price. You don't haggle about your food.
I mean, the blood it did look like it had been in the bottle for a little while, and there was like a little bit of
Questionable.
magic preservation on it. So, like, I understand Vesper's hesitance.
Very questionable blood.
Mhm.
It's a little questionable.
The blood was fine, though.
We got some supplies. The local grumpy tiefling rogue, whose name I cannot remember. Yes, you. Yeah.
Oh
Needed
no,
a
that didn't
tief-
change here.
I was gonna say
Veyron.
Tiefling dude.
Veyron. Yeah, sorry,
Veyron, yeah,
I
that
meant
is.
to brush up on that in our like pre-game time, but instead we all just chatted the whole time. Like there were things I was gonna
Veyron.
do during our like pre-gaming time, which included reminding me what all of your names were. Because
Oh,
as
yeah.
we discussed pre-game, even though it's only been a month since our first session, since the
Things we've
beginning,
forgotten.
it feels like it's been like 2 or 3 months. So,
Yeah.
but yes, Veyron.
So Veyron realized that a couple of the people in here, especially Vesper, trying to haggle down the blood jar price, is getting really sidetracked from the main event.
I believe Veyron also realized that they are the only living member, like flesh and blood member of the party,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah,
therefore
Veyron and
the
that little
only
Very
girl
much
as
I'm
one.
the
well.
only one who seems delicious.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, the only edible member of the party.
Literally. I think, okay, so Rusk smells like a dog. Okay, whatever. You can be chilled. Crowl smells weird. Like there's something going on there.
Like blood and murder.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Veyron is like, oh, you smell like a buffet.
You smell delicious.
You smell alive.
Happening again.
So,
Yeah, I'd be a bit talking
Uh-oh.
about the
oh no!
Oh, we're loads and brusque again.
So, what happens next? We get this information, quite a bit, very useful. Mostly learn about the cemetery, go to the mercantile store with the Threadborn, get a buckler shield for me to just attach my arm for a little bit of extra defense. Ask about extra things. We ask about things we can hunt in the region to make sure that our friend isn't eaten. We also learn exactly where the cemetery
That's right,
is
that's not important.
and what to look for.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead, Spooks.
So we then leave the town and we're going down the trail, and it feels like time is getting weird in the trail and there's a lot of fog. We manage to find the hidden old road going off the side of this trail with a really run-down sign, despite us being told that the cemetery was well kept. It very clearly is not.
Mm-hmm.
We follow the path all the way down, overgrown, manage to find the cemetery and get there. And we're looking around, and then we immediately get accosted by a whole bunch of monsters.
What?
Shadows and wraiths, I believe.
What? Accosted?
How
That
would you
What were
like
the
me to
odds?
phrase it?
that just sounds.
I don't know. It
Violently
looked like
welcomed?
a couple of tonberries and an angry lady.
I feel like they were just trying to be your friend.
Yeah, they were really friendly.
Super
Really,
friendly.
really friendly. So
Opal,
friendly.
I'm stealing your bones and feeding them to Momo.
Wow. Momo already chews on my bones, okay?
I mean, at least Momo
The
will
only-
have them.
The only things I seem to have are like names. So we had Dorian Thornfield, which I think was the master of the town, and he was decorating when we got to the town.
Yeah,
We
he's
have
the
Asher-
he's kind of like the de facto mayor of the town. He his family's been in town for as long as anyone can remember. they don't have an official mayor, but because his family's been around for so long and accumulated wealth, and just there seems to be a deference to him as the leader of the town, and he's also the one that hired you to look into these disappearances.
That's it. We also had Asher Draven, who was the guy in the general goods store.
The
tavern
Silkborn
was
man.
Dancing Fox. Yes.
Yeah.
The tavern was the Dancing Fox, and we had Emma, who was the Threadborn, and we had Miss Aurora in there. We found out the statue in the town was of the Fey Mother, and the apothecary was run by Makiki.
That's it, the Kiki.
Yep.
That's all my
Basically.
notes.
Basically it. So if you guys want, I can read you kind of like the little intro to Crooked Moon from the PDF. Because this is stuff that like still fits with the general setting that I wrote. It's not going to change the game in any way. It kind of just expands on the world of the Crooked Moon.
I think Spoopy was interested.
Yeah.
Just a
Probably
little
good
bit.
for the stream as well.
Hello, croissant. Croissant Winnie.
Croissant.
She's right up on my lap.
Oh, the baby girl.
Croissant.
It's
The
a
crystal.
You guys are so pretty.
croissant. Winnie.
So good.
Opal says hi.
Winnie was my
No, she's
best
so
friend when I visited Ferret.
That and my kid.
Yeah, yeah. But Winnie, like, literally in the first evening was climbing into my lap and just wanted all the cuddles.
Which I will say that is weird for her because she is a skittish pup.
Aw. She probably just, I mean, Jazzy can be pretty skittish as well. And I mean, she was even more skittish when I first got her. So Winnie could probably just, sense that, like, I was okay. Like, I know how to deal with little skittish poopies.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually, if we want to, let me see if I can share this.
No, not yours, not yours. That's mine. You can't have onions.
But
want the onion.
Mom,
Keep onion.
Get your silly little face out of there.
but Mom.
I love onion.
All right,
I want onion.
so
Onion.
if you guys look at stream, I have pulled up the PDF. I'm just gonna put that off to the side a little bit right there.
I'm an excited, simple
Oh
creature.
boy, words, my favorite thing.
Yes. So again, this is the alpha like test. It's not official yet. It's not finalized. But I just want to give you guys a quick little preview, mainly of this. Actually, I'm gonna close this down and I'm just gonna show you this because this is super cool. Of like that little graphic there of like of what a day consists of in Druskenwald. So, and now I will read it. Druskenwald is a realm that exists outside the lands of the mortal and material. Enveloped in a seemingly endless expanse of eldritch gloom, it exists in a paradoxical state of limbo between the warring furies of life and death. Beyond the misty borders of this domain may lie countless worlds and afterlives, but Druskenwald stands apart, a self-contained demiplane where the living, dead, and everything in between can coexist. Within these confines is a landmass hewn into the shape of a crescent moon, and a dark and roiling sea that stretches from its eastern coastline until it disappears into the haze. Looming mountains peak to the north and south flank the lands between, forming an enormous continent-sized valley that nonsensically spans numerous environments in a relatively short distance and never experiences the turn of a season. The laws of nature and logic have no dominion over a place that is just as much nightmare and folklore as it is a land to explore. The mystifying nature of Druskenwald is made most apparent by the 13 major provinces that comprise it. As if pulled from a child's storybook featuring a broad collection of varying tales, each of these territories has a wholly distinct biome, topography, and climate. From forest to moor, desert to tundra, swamp to farmland, they all exist side by side like a collection of bizarre patches stitched together upon a grandmother's quilt. Despite the uniqueness of each Druskewaldian patch, travel between provinces is not especially difficult, and borders can be crossed with a simple step. In Druskenwald, the sun never rises. Instead, the land is bathed in an orange glow from the horizon for a few brief hours at the height of dusk, only to be swallowed by the encroaching darkness that dominates the rest of the night. The crooked moon, an eternal crescent with the visage of a leering hag, hangs eternally overhead. Its light waxes and wanes with the cycle of each night as it moves through the sky with no discernible pattern, casting long, creeping shadows. At times, it looms large in the sky, its baleful eye glowering over the land with malicious intent. At other times, it shrinks to a small sliver nearly lost in the night sky, leaving the land blanketed in total darkness. The crooked moon's unpredictable nature mirrors the uncanny essence of Druskenwald itself. The people of Druskenwald have adapted to their peculiar 24-hour, quote, day cycle from the twilight hour through the witching hour, dividing their time according to the shifting light in their own ways. Some rise as soon as the golden glow of the hidden sun shows itself above the horizon, and settle in before the most treacherous hours of night. Others only wake during true darkness. While they may not agree on how to honor Druskenwald's time, all peoples and provinces have aligned on the same naming conventions for the phases of each passing night. So that
I
is...
remembered that bit of lore last time for when you said that the sun was up, and I was like,
Yeah. So we'll say that we'll say that like when you guys arrived and the sun was quote up, you were somewhere in the neighborhood of the end of dusk hour and beginning of nightfall hour.
okay.
So the sun
right.
was at its height. It was as bright as it ever gets in Druskenwald, but still not a bright daylight kind of vibe.
Like a full moonlight kind of deal.
Yeah. Or like, that kind of like it's daytime, but when you get those days where it's light, but it's so overcast that
It doesn't feel
it
like
doesn't
day.
feel like day. Exactly.
Yeah.
So the last bit of lore I'm going to read you guys because it is pertinent to this one shot, and I feel that as denizens of Druskenwald, you would all be aware of this information.
Mm-hmm.
And it is about Kaelin, the Crooked Queen. Before Druskenwald became the harrowing realm it is today, it was a place of vibrant life and rebirth, ruled by Kaelin, the Green Queen. This afterlife demiplane was an enormous forest, teeming with green magic that facilitated the natural cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Mortal souls would journey here to be reincarnated as plants, animals, and other natural beings, contributing to the eternal cycle. Kaelin was a Fey queen, neither benevolent nor malevolent, but a guardian of this natural order. She believed in the sanctity of the cycle, where each death brought forth a new life, and the essence of the departed merged with the vibrant flora and fauna of the realm. Her dominion was one of serene balance, where the natural world thrived in an endless loop of renewal, untouched by the corrupting influences of sentient ambition and desire. Kaylin's vision of peace reigned until Philip Druskenwald arrived. Where he came from and how he discovered this realm of rebirth is forgotten to all, including Philip himself. But his appearance initiated a cataclysmic conflict that left Kaylin a hollow shell of her former self. The once lush forest became the fog-shrouded landscape of Druskenwald. Kaylin, now the Crooked Queen, retreated to the deepest and darkest wood within Wickermore Hollow, a minor province and the only one not under the dominion of Philip and his Crescent Court. In this weakened state, she lingers nearly dormant as she waits to reclaim her domain. Her bitterness festers, and she whispers the words of the old ways to those who will listen. Many of the monsters and creatures not shaped by the nature of their provinces have been made bent and crooked by the hateful spite of the Crooked Queen.
Neat.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun! So, and that is where we begin. So I am going to go ahead and move everyone back to our...
We're back in the cemetery.
Yeah.
Oh, we're back in hell again.
Well, this is where we left off. So we left off last time with your group defeating the undead who
Did she vanish?
Yeah, I can't hear Opal as well.
Okay. Yeah, okay. It's not just me then. Okay. Hi.
oh, did I
No.
vanish?
Yeah, just